for AZ and lots of underscores is cheering Stephano. Let us know who you're cheering for. Let me know who you're supporting in this series and who you want to see taking it down and moving on through into the round of 16, which is played tomorrow, our second stage of groups. Bottom left hand side of the map, our blue Terran player from Storm Gaming. It is GuMiho. His opponent, bottom right hand side, is the pink Zerg player from Meltdown, Stephano. Good luck, have fun, he calls at the start of game number 1. And good luck, have fun. Called by GuMiho as well, as we set up into the initial stages of this game. Now, TvZ, a matchup we are yet to see today. In fact, it's kind of nice. We're going to get a nice range of matchups from our first group here. Obviously, we had a TvT, a PvZ. Now you get to see the other two Terran matchups, TvZ here initially, then TvP between Insane and Strange. And then, of course, past that and continuing onwards, you have all the rest of the bits and pieces, which is going to be, well, the potential decider match, which I feel as though is most likely to be a rematch between Strange and Stephano. But again, never know what Stephano might come out with. See there, so you're just going to pop down to the low ground, and we'll be throwing down a command center in the next couple of moments. So, just going to get this set up, and orbital is on the way. It's a nice, a marine opening actually, and you'll go into the factory pretty quickly. Now he's actually going to build the factory at the front. What an interesting setup, a little bit different to what you might usually be expecting here in the super early stages, so a little bit different. Single marine into the factory, probably the reactor on the barracks. Whoa, a tech lab barracks. What on earth is this? Second gas quickly as well. It could be a starport building on the tech lab right away. Marine will ward away the overlord. My other thought is it could be like a double factory place in some weird way as well. Also a possibility. I feel it's most likely to be a starport over here. But you never know. You never know. Could be another factory and then some other nonsense. I think it'll be a starport though, otherwise could have already built a second factory. It's just going to be one Hellion initially. It's a weird way to open. Single Hellion obviously not reacted. But immediate, again, starport on a tech lab is just going to be very aggressive. As you see Stephano just trying to move on forward, sees the factory, sees the barracks, and he doesn't see the starport just yet, which I guess is obviously problematic because he doesn't really see too much else himself. He doesn't see that second gas. So in terms of mind games and in terms of what Stephano has seen, I don't think Stephano really knows what's happening just yet, and I don't think I would either. I think he's probably assuming this was something like a later gas, and probably the last thing he's expecting is a super fast cloak Banshee. So we'll see how well this works out for GuMiho. We'll see if it does catch Stephano off guard in the next few moments. As this Hellion comes up towards the third base, just going to check that's there, of course, just going to make sure, just be like, okay, cool. We have indeed got a third hatchery down over here. Goblin24 in the chat cheering Stephano as well. Again, we are here all day today, guys, so settle down, get ready, because we're going to be live casting so many of these games. We've got 3 groups of 5 best of 3s to go, or to come, so it's our second of 15 best of 3s. Again, like we've been saying, long day ahead of us. Should be fun though, as we do see a few drones. Just continue to pop one out here from Stephano. And a few Zergons just going to gather up down on the low ground here as well. A little bit of creep to be able to push out as well if he wants it to. So he'll be able to push a bit of creep out. Again, this third hatchery is going to be up and running too. So really kind of, again, weird opening for GuMiho with this sort of way he's gone about things, but well, let's see how much the Banshee does. I mean, Cloak is about to finish up, and Stephano does have Spore Crawlers, so I think the Banshee is going to be somewhat defendable. You see, immediately Cloaks up here, but runs in towards the Spore, which means the Queen can push it back. I mean, obviously, the lack of a lair means, like, just in general, the lack of mobile detection is frustrating and not easy to deal with when it comes to the Banshee, but nice Spore Crawlers to save the day here. Might actually let one of those finish. I mean, obviously, he might not, but he might let one finish just to have kind of towards the front to kind of slow down the areas in which GuMiho can do damage. It's actually really nice from Stephano. Good micro on the drones. I mean, yes, he's losing mining time, but he's also not losing any workers, really. There's another one going down, but really very limited damage here so far. Forward has killed Queens. A little bit kind of out of position now, and especially as Hellions run towards the natural. A couple Cyclones behind this too. A Viking is picking off Overlord, so Stephano is supply blocked. It's a bit of an awkward moment or two. You're going to see Spores going to burrow up the front to try and block a run by perhaps. But the third hatchery is wide open for attack. The armory is actually down, so this turns into a Hellbat-based attack now. Obviously, Stephano, only on Zerglings, is not really in the best position to deal with this. +1 mech weapons. As GuMiho are looking as though he's going to continue to play mech moving forwards in this game. And well, right now, the Hellbats and Cyclones are having a pretty good time against these Queens. The Cyclone damage just really helps to tear through the Queens so quickly. As obviously the Lings are not able to really do much against the Cyclones either because of the fact we see these kind of Hellbats protecting them. Cyclones, low health on one of them, just lose one. They lose the other two as the Hellbats kind of pulled away to kind of deal with damage elsewhere. Queens are running out of energy transfuse those. We see this Banshee is continuing to cause havoc from the sky as the second Banshee now. And just trying to do what it can. Does get pushed away. Stephano holds on. Meanwhile, a Viking lands towards the third base and does get 2 drones. Wings pop out and will force that into the skies where the Queens will be able to pick up the kill. All said and done, I mean, GuMiho comes out a few workers ahead, but I mean, considering the situation, I would say this turns into a pretty good scenario for start. Like, this was really crazy. Like, how on earth did you hold off this attack with Lings and Queens against so many Hellbats, 2 Cyclones as well? Like, how did this happen? How on earth did this happen? 2 more factories building for GuMiho now over towards the main base, and just going to see a supply depot dropping down as well. +1 Carapace, +1 missile attack. Continue to come on in here as we see the Banshee in towards the main. GuMiho looking to try and pick away whatever he can. A couple of drones here and there. Now goes 1 drone taken down instantly, and Queen takes a little bit of damage as well at that point. Again, Banshee coming up the side and just trying to nibble away at these drones here and there. Again, just picking away from a distance and just finding the kind of sweet spots where there is not spore crawlers in position, because we are very much so dependent on the spore crawlers still for detection. Stephano, his lair, not even halfway done still, so that's one thing he has been slowed down into some extent. He's having transfuse, he does. Queen will not die here today. As 2 more Hellions come forwards, Barracks will take the position to the south side, just gonna watch for anything coming through this direction. I mean, it's unlikely we see Zerg drops or anything like that, but just in case, I mean, it's better to have it there than than anywhere else, because the reality is he isn't really going to be utilizing that barracks at all, so it's better to float and get some info. I mean, obviously if it's mid-map then it can be picked off, and then that's kind of annoying because sometimes you need a barracks to rebuild a factory or something in some scenarios and whatever and what have you. So just having the barracks to the south, floating in some dead air, but watching a little bit of the map. Again, it's probably one of the better places for it to be. Again, a group of Hellions to the top right. Stephano will pause here momentarily. Hopefully will not be too much of an issue. Screen can't move. Well, that is obviously problematic. Wait for GuMiho to say go.
Game resumed.
Stephano is okay. It's a little bit of a weird situation to be your screen frozen. What's going to happen? Look at this, double 4 drop. What's he going to try and kill a 4? I mean, maybe he's just bringing them across the medivacs to speed things up a little bit. Maybe he really believes he can do some damage with harassment here on these 4s. It's a possibility to see these Hellbats continue to push forwards and continue to deal with a little bit more damage. They get cleaned up though. Nice defense by Stephano. Again, like I feel Stephano. Well, here we go. I guess the 4's going to start doing something now. He'll start picking away an extractor. Yeah, Lings and Roaches are pretty fast to respond, so 4s have to lift up. They have to back away, and again, Stephano defends nicely, and I feel that's what's been happening so far throughout the game. Honestly, good defense by Stephano time and time again. As Queen's now going to try and trap these medivacs in. Medivacs still have an escape path though, as we see. Again, Roaches and Lings will fight at 4, but GuMiho lifts in plenty of time, and he'll lift the second 4 as well. No real surprises there. I mean, if GuMiho was to lose those, we'd really be questioning if his mouse is broken or something, because, you know, if you're dropping 4s like that, you know you're dropping them at a point where you can afford to pay attention to them. You're not going to lose them or anything. Someone like GuMiho, I mean, that really would be a little bit of a disaster, so. Infestation Pit is dropping down as well, about halfway done. The Hydralus Den is about 75% of the way through also. Just going to see these Lings in a row, just going to wrap around either side. And again, the 4's getting low, but the great thing about mech units, of course, is that you can pull them back and just get them repaired. And then they're at full effectiveness once again, or full health once again, to go and trade some more. First tanks are starting to come into play right now, which means that it is that stage where GuMiho is not really going to be under any real threat towards the front. And again, it's Nuka Crescent, where at this point, headed towards a potentially very long game. Now this is a screen freeze. Take TV, no! Party must be kicking off already. Well and truly. Penthouse party is has kicked it up a notch or so. Take TV dropping already. Third series of the day. Kicked out the internet. Looks as though Take is going to be dropping here, and when we get back into this then, we were just seeing kind of a few units moving up to the top side. Stephano was looking to be aggressive, but with 2-2 upgrades and a hive on the way, he is of course mostly looking just going towards the later stages of the game. More so than anything else. There is Take TV disappear. We will resume. So, hive on the way for Stephano as we mentioned, and while that happens, we're just going to be seeing GuMiho dropping down a couple of scans to the top side. Overlords, for whatever reason, are currently gathering together. And again, Lings and Roaches coming through the top, looking to see what's going on. This Viking is going to push this Overlord of Stephano away. So, Overlord Stephano getting pushed all the way back. This is nice, I mean, just picking up some kills, Viking being a little bit annoying. All bits and pieces as... I mean, the thing is, Stephano doesn't really want to attack down these rocks. Obviously, he wants to come up here and try and attack himself. But there's plenty of units. GuMiho Soldier is coming, obviously, so he's able to get in position nice and quickly. Hellbats will try and drop on top of the retreating Roaches, but there's only so far they can chase for, because obviously if they move too far away from the rest of the army, they're just going to get turned on. The Roaches will win that fight in the end anyways. Hive Tech coming on through. Upgrades are very good for GuMiho, by the way. His +1 came in so early in the game for that Hellbat attack. And now his +3 mech weapons is he's coming up so quickly too. I'm surprised he adds on a second armory. Obviously vehicle plate and he wants to start getting at the same time, but obviously the thing I wonder about is it worth it, because in about a minute he's going to have a 3 armory anyways. Now what I think the reason might be is probably because he'll go into ship weapons too for a later game transition into kind of sky terrans, so that's probably why he will, or even just kind of anti-air against Viking Vipers, etc. As we're going to be seeing the well, these Vikings not being loved right now. Hydra's picking up 2 of them. These couple of Cyclones all to the left out the front. A bit of a weird moment from GuMiho as, whoa, 4s! Dropping again, but this time Stephano will find himself a medevac kill. GuMiho not able to pull back in time just there. Changeling's getting blown up in one of the most brutal ways you could imagine, a 4-shot. It's one of the payloads you definitely don't want to be taken to the chest. As you just have the a couple of Vikings from GuMiho moving around here, seeing what's up, seeing what's happening. Spire is about halfway done. The Vipers continue to build as well right now. Just some more creep coming up, a little bit of creep to the top side, some of the creep pushing out in towards the center of the map also. So creep coming around, and there are those Hellions from GuMiho pushing on through up to the top side here to see what might happen. Roaches, Lings, and Hydras going to be moving around. Is going to be seeing these units just seeing what they might get done, but good defense by Stephano. Stephano today, actually, throughout the earlier series as well, I would say, has been very successful in terms of defending. Like, he's been very on point. He hasn't really let anything sort of catch him off guard at any point. He really has been playing some pretty pristine StarCraft 2 up until now. And has been, again, very on point. Like, even the one thing that caught him off guard was that kind of build earlier, that Hellbat, Cyclone, Banshee sort of thing, and you can understand why, because he got a very bad scout, and that was a very weird way to kind of set up into it from GuMiho, so it sort of really kind of Stephano into kind of a wrong mindset. There's a nice counterattack coming in here. There's obviously a few tanks left behind, but look at this! Stephano cleans up a bunch of those. And that's always great. We're going to see the Sense Tower getting cancelled as well, and Planetary now finishing up. He'll just get another SCV or 2 towards the side here and back away. Good trade by Stephano. Darts in. I mean, this is what Mech is weak against, little counterattacks, and that's why Mech is very much so about positioning and making sure you have the right amount of tanks here, the right amount of tanks there. That was definitely a great trade from Stephano, shutting down a few tanks for a very low amount of Roach Hydra, and it pulls GuMiho back, you know, it forces GuMiho to suddenly say, oh crap, I've got to get back there and clean this up, which obviously just takes a few moments and adds into the kind of overall game as well. Still Vipers, Corruptors, Roaches, and Hydras for Stephano, starting to move forwards a little bit here, and I like it. It feels like he's getting into the correct sort of composition to deal with this mech army. Pushing forwards, GuMiho has a good amount of Vikings. The reason for the Vikings is to shoot down the Vipers, most importantly, and try and shut them down before they can drop the Blinding Clouds, etc. Let's see how this goes, though, because that's going to be a huge Blinding Cloud initially. He actually just goes for the abducts. The rest of the tanks aren't currently sieged. This is a disaster for GuMiho. Like, his tanks aren't sieged. Now he's running back through this kind of army, or through these Blinding Clouds. I mean, this is just so good for Stephano. Pushing forward, Stephano's yet to rebuild anything. You can already see the Hellions on the way back up, and forwards as well in production for GuMiho. That was a very good fight for Stephano. Sorry, guys. 1 sec. Hello? Sorry? I didn't even know I had a phone in here. That was a little bit scary. Jesus. I was like, what? Like, phone randomly rings. It's a little bit strange. Literally, I mean, I know I've got a phone in here, but it's never rang in my life. Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? I thought we were gonna get in trouble or something. We were being too loud. Be like, your office neighbors are upset that you're shouting and making noise. Anyways, scan to the top side. I was going to see Corruptors and Vipers are going to push on through. Stephano just came off of a good fight and will be looking for something similar to that. Vipers will be looking for, well, parasitic bombs in the sky. He lands the Vikings. What a great response to kind of the parasitic bombs, actually. That's kind of clever. I've never thought about that. Wow. That's actually kind of insane. That's so sick. Land the Vikings, because if he's in a clump like that, it's going to be faster to land than to just peel away. That is really sick. I'm going to see a couple of roaches getting picked off here. Going to see Hydra still join up in the center of the map as well. And still Queen's just throwing down some more creep Jimmers and more creep in general. Just spreading on forwards here at the moment. A couple of Cyclones seeing what they can do as Hydras and a couple of roaches are going to chase down, and they are going to be able to pick up the kill. Cyclone gets dropped right there. And you see the Hellbats now dropping on top of these Hydralisks as well. Continue to push them back. Meanwhile, through the center, though, a big push from Stephano. There's a lot of units over here, but he does grab and abduct. He's playing a very patient game, Stephano. And he's got a good bank as well to kind of rebuild with, too. So, looking very good for Stephano right now as another scan drops down. Hydras, Corruptors, Vipers all spotted over to the side. And, yeah. Man. Crazy. Plus 2 ship weapons comes in on this armory here. And it's going to be seeing the scans again, still just dropping down. Looking to see what else is happening. A lot of Hydras at the front. A lot of Hydras at the front. A lot of Corruptors too. The Vipers also. Moving around here, seeing what might happen. Seeing what can go on. Here we go, pushing forwards. You're going to see, well, abducts coming down. Parasitic bombs again on a lot of the Vikings. The Vikings taking a lot of damage. The Vipers, of course, being targeted down. Pretty much every Viking will fall. Where's the rest of GuMiho's army? He's got a few tanks to the south, but that's about it. The Hydra force will not be able to push in too much further to this. And there's just going to be seeing him turn in. Still looking for some skirmishes. I mean, without tanks, you can't really stop this Hydra force in too many positions. A planetary up top would be nice to get rid of, but there's a big commitment for Stephano to move up there, and it would mean he maybe gets cornered in, which is the last thing he wants to happen at that point. You see these Evilish Jimmer taking a little bit more damage, and again, just some more units pushing on forwards. That's just going to be seeing the ball gets picked off a tank too. A couple more units. I mean, this army from GuMiho just can't really trade against these Hydras, I don't think. You know? Just going to be seeing some more units just getting consumed right here. Sorry, some more Vipers consuming, getting some more energy. And we're just going to be seeing kind of Hydras pushing forwards. A couple of Hellbats continue to take some damage, so damage being done. Ling's going to run around the left side. Stephano is still very much... I mean, the thing is, GuMiho also still has a very strong army himself, but the way Stephano has been trading so far has been... Look at this. He's been trading efficiently against mech. That's how crazy this game is right now for Stephano. It's been going very, very well for him. Another scan, as we just see Stephano setting on up, looking to see what's happening. Hellions, fours, a tank. It's going to be moving through the middle here, and a couple of those tanks are going to siege on up. So we've seen the how about also just going to get sniped on down by those few Hydras. So a nice little snipe down there nice and quickly. And, well, still just seeing kind of this push from GuMiho. Stephano has a great chance to just get rid of this, though, because there's no Vikings in the sky any longer, which means the Vipers are so much safer than usual to kind of just move forwards and to do what they do best, which is to add utility to these fights, whether it's the abducts, whether it's the, you know, the blinding clouds, whatever he chooses to go for. Great Spy, by the way, is finished, and so Broodlord production could definitely start, and if there's no Vikings in the sky, obviously that could be pretty detrimental for GuMiho. As we're going to see him probably getting that base to the top side, but he's losing so much to the south just through these abducts. Actually, Tank's not really in position right now, so Hydras will fight. Has to be careful with the Hydras, though, because these Hellbats will deal a lot of damage to them. Stephano. Is he missing lava? He's got lava. He's just not spending all of his money as fast as you might expect him to. He's got a lot of gas. He's very mineral starved, actually, Stephano. As we're going to see 6 Broods on the way up. Again, these Broods will pretty much just stop this attack, unless the Cyclones lock onto them. I'm not actually sure how that might work out. This is going to be interesting. 7 Infestors on the way too. I mean, Infestors are very gas efficient, so it is a good unit to add on, but I'm not sure what they're going to add to this kind of, you know, against the mech army in particular. 12 workers down. Broods are still morphing in. Where are the Broods? Here they are. They are close by, so they are going to be able to respond as GuMiho takes down 2 bases here, and Stephano being mineral starved, not the best situation to now only be on 1 base of minerals for income, as we do see him taking the fight up to the top side, continue to fight with the Hydras. The Broods keep pushing forwards as well. Obviously GuMiho will unsiege. He wants to back away from this position. He will not want to continue fighting into this as Hydras. I don't really know how Hydras against Cyclones really turns out. So far, not so pretty. Problem is with GuMiho, how do you fight the Broodlords? Because even if you make Vikings right now, there is Corruptors and Infestors to support. So I think this might be an unkillable army at the moment. Like a really unkillable army for Stephano. Now, I'm not going to commit to saying that. I mean, this is just sort of like first thoughts. But the thing is, how do you make enough Vikings? I mean, how many starports is there? Just the one? You can't make enough Vikings to kill these Broods. I mean, obviously, if the Cyclones can lock on, if the Force can get in range, it's possible. And right now, the Broods maybe not in high enough number to really push this back. And there is a lock on right there. And that's the sort of thing that will kind of sort of start pushing these Broodlords away. Nice fungal growth as well adding in there, though. And GuMiho is also very kind of strapped for cash at the moment, so he will struggle to fight against these Broods, I think. Stephano has not rebuilt these bases because, again, he's just so low on minerals. He's really just focused on this Doom push at the moment, so continue to push on through this south side. We're going to come on forwards. The Hydras going to get rid of a missile turret nice and quickly. The supply depots, too, will be getting taken down. Supply depots getting picked off here, and again, Broods just up in the sky, going to keep on seeing what they can get up to. This orbital command center is also going to get shot down here, so orbital command getting picked off, and still just seeing this army of Stephano looking very, very scary. Nice little abduct, 2 abducts, and that's the sort of stuff we still want Stephano to be going for here. Just small, quick, easy trades. Broodlord's under fire right now. Again, you've got to remember that Stephano does not have a lot of money to rebuild if he loses these. Here we go, the big fight does start to happen. The Widowmine's trying to help out. 3 Broods still left in the skies. The Vikings are dead. Blinding Cloud will stop the Force from firing onto Broodlords momentarily, as the Hydras are going to be left over. They're going to kill off everything. That is it. GuMiho's army has gone. And after cleaning out, Stephano knows he can just morph in a whole bunch more Broodlords. And GuMiho does not really have an answer to this. Stephano is going to take game number 1 against GuMiho. GG. Wow. What on earth just happened? Stephano to this. So let's have a look to see what is going to happen as we go into game number 2 of this best of 3. Down a game. Didn't think we'd be saying this, honestly, but down a game at Blue Terran to the top right side from Sidestorm Gaming is GuMiho. To the bottom left-hand side, our pink Zerg player is Stephano from Meltdown, of course. A few drones continue to come on up right here, and we're just going to see that refinery from GuMiho building up as well as a gas first. So you will go for a factory-based opener here in the early stages, pretty much similar to the last game as well. As we see the racks just starting to build up. So yeah, let's end up into this Proxima Station. I mean, Newkirk's a great map for mech. I'm actually not so sure about Proxima. Because Proxima, while it is a super easy map to split on, in terms of actually playing mech, it can be a bit more difficult to cover your third and fourth base, and then, you know, bases past that as well, with just the mech army. You know, basically it's a lot less narrow than Newkirk Precinct. Newkirk is very narrow, there's one attack path more or less. The other attack paths are very kind of like close to that one. Here the attack paths are a bit more spread out, so while it is an easy map to take multiple bases on, you still do sometimes need that little bit of extra mobility. So we might not see mech from GuMiho here this time around. I still think this is a map that mech can work on, don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's probably not as great as Newkirk is. You know, if you look at Abyssal Reef as well, you can get to 5 bases on Abyssal Reef while covering all 5 bases very simply. And that's why Abyssal Reef is a great map for mech. And it's the same on Newkirk. Whereas on this map, to take 5 bases, where you've got to be here and down here, or here and over there and there. Like, you're just that little bit more spread out, which, again, is not impossible to do with mech. It's just that little bit harder. Already greater than Stephano, because I can do phone calls during the game. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. That is weird, man. Like, again, I've never had this phone ring ever, and someone is like, "Hey, are you this guy?" I'm like, "Nope," and they're just like, "Oh," and like, "I think you got it wrong." And I'm like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Thanks for literally disrupting the stream. You're the worst." Okay, it wasn't quite like that. Thank you very much for this Twitch Prime sub coming in from X-Ventry. Get some SDI hearts in the chat, please. Some love in the chat, please, for a brand new fresh sub. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're working on our sub count, guys. We want to try and get up to 200-ish. We want to get the new sub emote slot again. We've got a Wardy Thump to add to our emote collection. So we're working our way towards there. We're way a ways right now, but April was such a bad month that I'm pretty sure we're not going to lose any subs for the next 2 weeks. So we can only go up from here, I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain of it. Medevac, couple of Hellions are on the way out here from GuMiho, and we're just going to see this Overlord popping in to have a little bit of a scout to see what's going on. Stephano will see a setup which is very just indicative of not a Hellbat attack, just a Hellion drop. And you can tell that because the tech lab on the barracks. If it's going to be a Hellbat attack, you wouldn't throw down a tech lab on the racks because A, you wouldn't be able to afford stim right away, or whatever you're going to build with the tech lab if you're investing into an armory. And B, just in general, you're probably expecting marine production to have kind of Hellbat, Hellions and Marines at the same time. Hellbat, marine attack. Just that bit stronger than pure Hellbat. And that's a general rule of thumb. It's not kind of a guaranteed sort of thing, but as we see the Raven as well from GuMiho, still not looking to be necessarily kind of Hellbats. Or if it is a Hellbat attack, it'll be delayed, I suppose, is the better or more. It's the way to say it, which covers more of my bases. You know, I've got my own back. You know. Do you see this medevac just flying in towards the main, and a couple of Widow Mines inside? If he gets the Widow Mines burrowed, by the way, it's huge because there is no detection right now. You would have to build a Spore Crawler, Stephano, as this is good so far. 2 Zerglings, wow, this is really good. Kills the medevac as well. This is really nice. Spore builds in 21 seconds. Widow Mine cooldown 29. It's gonna be pretty clutch in terms of killing these in time. The Hellions actually die from the natural, do a bit more damage. They get 5 workers, which is okay considering he gets out with 2 of them. Stephano just needs to make sure he has units in position in time to kill these mines. You can see that he's going to be a little bit cautious about it. The mines are going to split up. I mean, this is very smart because obviously there's no detection down in the low ground just yet. Stephano can actually mine from these patches without kind of killing that mine just yet. You see the Widow Mine goes off on lava. Not really the end of the world. Just has to get rid of the mine on the low ground now. Hopefully he doesn't forget about that. Just needs to relocate that Spore Crawler. Raven's on the way up, by the way. We mentioned that just previously. We saw the first Raven start, and the second one is coming in as well. And you can just see that this Raven coming to the left-hand side will be obviously looking to throw down some order turrets, looking to harass. And generally, the idea is you keep 1 Raven here, 1 Raven there, and then you just do damage throughout. And Stephano did indeed forget about this Widow Mine. Is natural, man. 6 workers going down. Oh, does he not realize it went off? Wow, he didn't even realize it went off. Spore will relocate. Yeah, a mistake by Stephano, a big one too. I mean, 6 workers when he shouldn't have lost any more to that is obviously a big deal. As you see that Spore burrowing, we'll see the Queens cleaning out the Widow Mine gets taken down. This Raven going to be looking to see what else might happen. He hasn't actually dropped any order turrets just yet. Might look to drop at the same time in the natural and on the third base. Sorry, the main base and the third base. Just so he can sort of maybe catch Stephano off guard, kind of distract him a bit, and hopefully get more damage done. So here we go. We're going to see this Raven coming through. We're going to see one missed order turret drops. And the drone gets picked off almost immediately there. And a couple drones getting picked off. The other Raven's still just sat tight, not really doing much. Back at home, we do see GuMiho playing the bio follow-up. Stimpack about to finish. Medivacs are very shortly going to be on the way. And his 1-1 upgrades also on the way out, well before Stephano's, who's just been a little bit distracted in this game. As another order turret comes down, really has been a nuisance so far. GuMiho with the harassment early has done a very good job and has continued to keep Stephano from manning here for a few more moments. Thank you very much, Dre625, for the Twitch Prime sub as well. Can you get some more SDI hearts in the chat, please? Some more loves. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, dude. Twitch Prime sub train is a rolling, apparently. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the support, guys. It goes a long way towards supporting the stream, obviously, subscribing and so on. And, of course, on top of that, we do put a lot of our sub money back into events, such as the WardiTV weekly we run on Thursdays. We try and put sub money back into that, so generally take about half the sub money we make and reinvest into further events for you guys to enjoy. Marines pushing forward here. We'll get an Overlord killed quite nicely. Very nicely done, actually. So a nice little pick off right there, of course, and continue to move out in towards the center of the map. We do just see GuMiho getting set up and ready to pressure a little bit. And honestly, with how far behind Stephano has fallen, you can just see that GuMiho has way too much right now here in game number 2. The harassment from the start of the game is just GG. I mean, nothing else even happens. Stephano just knows he's lost. No. As we have to the bottom right hand side of the map, our Blue Terran player from Sidestorm Gaming. Tying it up with some great harassment on Proxima Station. GuMiho. Let's see what he plays here on Abyssal Reef. As again, we talked about this a little bit at the start of the last game. It is a mech map if he wants it to be. So we shall see. Top left, Pink Zerg player Stephano from Meltdown. Nice to see him at least taking a game in this series, but would be even more awesome to see him advancing through this group in first place. Would be quite interesting, actually. Are these VODs going to be online? Yes, Cashman, they will. We'll have the VODs on Twitch available immediately. We don't sub-block them or anything, although if you do appreciate it, do feel free to support. And we put them on our YouTube channel probably within a week or so, youtube.com/WardiTV. We upload 2 to 3 times a day. Right now, we do have a few events that we're trying to get up there nice and quickly, so hopefully you can get them within about a week or so for the YouTube VODs. Okay, so we're setting up. I'm just going to see this Rax coming down at the front here. And this time, Stephano actually opens gas pool into the hatchery, so he might be trying to go into something a little bit more, something a little bit more kind of like, maybe he goes down like a Roach Warren, and maybe he gets aggressive in the super early stages. Maybe he just wants to go pool first, get a couple links across, try and delay the CC. There's a whole, there's a few different ways you can play this out. Surely they have kebab in the UK too. They do, but I don't think UK kebab's as good as like European kebab. I don't know. I don't ever really eat kebab in the UK. I actually like never eat kebab in the UK. Like really never. Yeah, it's kind of weird, I guess. Is Wardy's voice a tad low? I can up my mic just a little bit, guys, if it helps out. Let me know if it's okay. It might just be a little bit low. So, here you go. Here's some more voice for you. Let me know. I might be a bit too loud now. Listen to me or else. Listen to me. What's going on? Again, not too much right away. There's going to be a Reaper coming down to the bottom right-hand side. Lings starting to move out. I mean, the Reaper saw that this wasn't a hatch first, so he's going to pull back right away to deal with these Zerglings, which are indeed across the map and already delaying the CC from continuing to build. So, I was going to see the CC being continued to be built. Queen just going to inject onto the main, and it's going to be seen again bits and pieces over the next few moments. Marines coming down the low ground. A few more Lings is going to maybe be causing a little bit of an issue here. Going to try. I mean, he's got speed now, so actually he can create this fight, and this Reaper is going to get caught as well. Cannot jump up there. And all of a sudden, once more, Stephano is delaying the CC of GuMiho. GuMiho has 3 more Marines building. He has got a 2-1-1 opener going for himself, by the way. But this just slow him down a bit. The CC being delayed is going to actually supply block him here. You know, he's 31 over 31, and I guess the CC will still just about finish up in time. But yeah, Stephano, a nice little bit of harassment now throws down his third hatchery as well. Honestly, if he'd, I feel as though if he just spammed Lings here, he'd be in a great position, because I don't know what GuMiho really does about it. Obviously, Stephano would be on a lower drone count, but having lost a few units early, I think the problem is Stephano can't guarantee he's going to kill those initial units, and by the time he has killed them, it's a bit late to spam a few Zerglings and to kind of flood forward. So I understand the decision he's made not to. It's already been good for him, though. I guess as well, you know, you've already taken a bit of a lead. Just roll out and kind of macro out of this rather than trying to do anything too fancy and end the game too quickly. Removes the risk. Two evolution chambers added on for Stephano in the natural expansion. The armory is coming down as well. GuMiho just going in towards a follow-up here, which is not going to be the usual follow-up you expect, and that's why the reactor is still in the factory and not on the starport, not reactoring out medevacs. He's going to go for this very aggressive, basically all-in, two-base all-in, kind of marine hellbat attack with the stim pack. Now, Stephano starts clicking Carapace, but the problem is with this attack, it's very difficult to deal with just the kind of initial Ling Queen that you usually expect to see. With the, you know, it's much more difficult to kind of do this with the kind of, you know, to deal with this with the Ling Queen you usually expect to see as a way to defend this right now. So, let's see if Stephano can hold on. I mean, he's going to momentarily see the Hellbats, but obviously a bit too late for him to maybe react. He is going to go Roaches. He's already got missile upgrades started, but just doesn't have those ready just yet. One of the important things will probably be to get rid of the medevac. He's just going to try and go for initial damage right away here. This is problematic for Stephano, man. You can just see everything is dropping. He does get rid of some of the initial Hellions, Hellbats. Drones pulling in as well. That's never pretty. Zergling's currently running in 1 or 2 at a time. Isn't pretty either. And this army of GuMiho is low health, but it's just caught Stephano completely off guard. Again, Lings only against this sort of attack does not work well simply because of the fact that he's in this situation where you just don't, you know, the Hellbats just add a little bit more than usual, I guess. So, you're going to see drones try and pull in again. Forces another stim, and Medevac's coming across the map, though, with 2 more Hellions. They ain't getting any easier. Now Stephano doesn't, oh, he actually does have the money. Does he have the lava to build Roaches? He does. 6 of them on the way. Obviously, he's taking a lot of damage here. In the meantime, though, I mean, GuMiho is still only just building up into a decent-ish work account, and I mean, the hatchery going down is obviously a pretty big deal. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not looking good for Stephano. It is not looking good. GG. He's going to type one now. He's going to lose those drones, and this engagement, this attack from GuMiho